Hello, everyone. It's Scotty T. It's your comedy minute. Uh-oh, Michael froze up. There, he was here, and now he froze up. He's a wonderful writer, comedian. He has an open bar special called "I Like Your Jesus." He has a brand new special called "Blended Feathers." It is an honor to have Michael Pasvar here.
What's up, Scotty T?
Did,
How
did
are
I
you,
say,
man?
did I say it right, Michael
You
Pasvar?
you got it right. It's
Oh my
Pasvar.
God!
It's just
Thank God.
exactly
I've been
how it's
I've been laying
spelled.
awake for nights thinking about it.
It's so
Michael,
funny is people always try to make it harder than it actually is.
yeah. Anyway, I don't. You're the first Passover I've met. Are you in Texas?
Texas, yes, sir, just outside of Dallas.
Born and raised in Texas?
Yes. Born and raised in the DFW area. Yes, sir.
Okay, Dallas Fort Worth. You may even know Texas Tony or Tequila Tony.
I I've heard that name. I don't think I've ever met him before.
Okay, yeah, he's been on the show a couple times. We mentioned
Cool.
Flo Hernandez. Michael, I wanted to know, when did you start doing comedy?
So that I started when I was in college in like 2007.
Okay,
Um and then but I don't really count that as my start date. It was the first time I went up. I was doing like an open mic once every 3 or 4 months at that point. And then probably got real heavy into it when I moved back to Dallas in '09.
okay,
And then I was going heavy from 2009 to 2013 and then took a 3 year break.
okay.
Um, and then it's been back at it since 2016. So I'd say I'm about 13 years in
What was the
altogether.
what was the catalyst, Michael? Was there a catalyst for you to start doing comedy?
Well, I've always done some kind of performing. So I have a degree in theater.
Okay,
Um, and I started, doing some kind of acting, theater work at, like fourth, fifth grade ish.
okay,
Um, so always wanted to try comedy because oftentimes, a lot of the times, the characters I got were usually like the comedic relief in the shows, and sometimes I would add my own, you know. Sometimes the directors would get a little mad because maybe I'd add my own stuff to it, So,
right, sure,
so the idea was eventually let's get into comedy, and that's just
okay.
kind of what happened.
I mentioned your new special, Blended Feathers. It's over 100,000 views already, right? Something like that, or is it even further?
That's a marketing thing. It's 100,000 views across all platforms. So if you include like the shorts and the reels and all that type of stuff, and you add that into it, it's hit
Yeah.
100,000.
I like when my videos on YouTube have a certain number and then they go backwards.
Yes, that's always interesting, right? So that happened the very first day of our when we launched it. I was looking at it,
Somebody unwatched it.
yeah, I was like, how's this possible? We're going backwards.
When you figure that out, you let me know, Michael.
Someone
You
was telling
also
me
have
that
an
YouTube.
open bar special. Well, no, let's
Yes, sir.
let's take a minute. Talk to people about Blended Feathers, because how did that come about?
Um, you know, Blended Feathers was a joke an idea for a joke that I had many years ago from like a real life thing that happened. And so, about maybe like 5 ish years ago, me and Travis Wright, the guy behind I'm a Fan of Productions, talked about filming a special.
Right.
About 5 years ago, we started looking at venues, and I knew what I wanted to call it. I wanted to call it Blended Feathers, and based off of that joke that I had been doing. But I was doing that joke. It never really fit into anything that I was doing per se.
Okay.
So I wouldn't do the joke that often. And then Open Bar came up to me and asked me to film something. And I'm glad that that happened before the Blended Feathers.
That one, if
Because,
you let me interrupt, that one's called "I Like Your Jesus." Is that right?
yes, sir.
Okay.
And so that one was more just a bunch of jokes I was trying to get rid of. And I'm glad that that happened before the Blended Feathers happened because
Okay.
then I was able to write an hour around one theme. And that's kind of where the Blended Feathers came with, where the theme was kind of being like uncomfortable in my skin, basically. And so that's where the kind of the through line was for the entire special.
Okay. And you mentioned the open bar special. "I Like Your Jesus." I watched that. That's funny stuff.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
But Blended Feathers is more about your Like I watched a bit about your father and stuff. That's more about your true story, right?
Yeah, it's more about just kind of my path in life almost, just like I wanted it to be a story. I wanted it to feel like you were watching something where there was a start, a middle, and an ending. And I wanted it, and my goal was to try to get it all to tie in. And I think we did that. I think that it came, that's kind of the feedback
Do
that
you
I've
want do
gotten
you want to
from a
give the people like a capsulized version of your story because it's very interesting?
yeah. So my father is from Iran. He came here in the late 70s, right before the Iranian Revolution. So he wasn't there for that. Um, and my mother, though, is a deep, deep rooted American. We have ties all the way back to Andrew Jackson on my mom's side of the family. So it was this kind of upbringing where I was a first generation American on one side, but then I was also very, very entrenched in American culture on the other side, to where like I think pretty sure we have people that go back all the way to the Revolutionary War on my mom's side. So
Right.
it was just this juxtaposition that I almost grew up in, to where, you know, the outside world didn't look at me as um this long-term American, because it's a lot of like, where are you from? What, like, where, like how you say, like, you're the first Pasvar I think I've ever met before, and we are. Like, my grandfather made up our last name. So our last name is only my grandfather, my father, me, and my kids' generation. It's only 4 generations old. So for the longest time, we were the only Pasvars in America, because it was, because in Iran, back before my grandfather, there was no last names. You would just be like Michael, son of Hossein. You know what I mean? Like, you did not have a last name. The
Okay.
last name came into when my grandfather, so he had to make up a last name, and that's the last name it came up. It means guardian of
Okay.
the king,
Right.
and so that's, so our last name is very new. So so the story, the whole thing came about is that I'm married to a Hispanic woman, and
Jesus
so
God, you got
we,
old. You got old.
yeah,
Go
so
ahead.
a comment was made one time about blended feathers. Essentially, I turned it into something that it wasn't real. It was just like a, or whatever, and I turned that into this whole growing up essentially with blended feathers,
Yeah.
and how that gave me identity crisis. I was always trying to find different groups to fit in with. So I was always trying to act like something that I was different than, and you know what I mean. So I just wrote it
Oh,
about the awkwardness of growing up that way.
I know what you mean.
And the funny thing about it is and it's funny because when I talk to people about that, and that the special came from a place of like insecurity, and this way that I felt growing
Sure.
up, anyone that knows me is like, wait a minute, you're insecure? You're like, like, or whatever. They're like, you're like loud and boisterous. And I'm like, yeah, that's an act. That's,
Yeah,
that's
right,
just me
right.
trying to overcome my inner voice at all times, you know? And so that's what's interesting about the special to me.
No, it's great special. Let's do a couple quick ones. Comedians that inspired you and comedians you like today.
You know, Pablo Francisco's Comedy Central Presents that came out in the
Okay.
late 90s, early 2000s.
Yep, I know it.
Uh, that is what made me want to try comedy. I was in high school whenever that was super popular, and my friends and I quoted it like it was a movie. Like
Yeah.
it was a quotable special to us and that was seeing that made me want to do comedy for real. I'd
Right.
always kind of thought about wanting to do comedy, but that was the thing that like put me over the top. Like, I have to do that.
Okay.
He was my favorite comic for probably about 5 or 6 years. I would say now my favorite comedian is probably Dave Chappelle. Um,
Okay.
you know, uh, I don't know who else.
It's all right. That's all
There's
right. Let's do a couple more quick ones and then we'll let you because I know you gotta pick up the kids and stuff. I don't want to keep you too long. I just added these in and I like this. Favorite food.
Ooh,
And
probably steak.
when I say that, last meal, they go, Michael, this is your last. You did something
Oh,
bad.
we're doing last meal.
Well, no,
Then
it's
I'm going.
for me. Not that you care, lobster and just keep it coming with butter or
Yeah,
steak and lobster. Bring them both.
I'm doing. So I don't. For about 2 years now, I haven't really eaten anything but meat and cheese.
Oh yeah,
Um,
buddy.
and so that
Keto
was
diet. Keto diet.
Yeah, it was like the carnivore diet, but I did it kind of my own way. And I hate telling people that because I think it's like one of the douchiest things out there. Like, like it's like, oh, I'm on this car, and like, and the people that are into it are like really into it. Like some of the people that are into the carnivore diet I'm in these Facebook groups for it. Okay, so because I wanted to get on these Facebook groups, I wanted to get recipes, like ideas of what to eat, but I'm like reading this stuff, and like some of the people that are in it are legitimately like afraid of vegetables, right? And they're just like, the vegetables are like they're releasing toxins into our bodies, and because they're fighting back for all the years of us trying to eat them, like they legitimately believe this stuff. And what's funny about it is the same guys that are doing the carnivore diet are also these like, I'm a lion, I'm a beast, I'm a lion. I'm like, so the same guys that think they're lions are afraid of the Veggie Tales, right? Like, come on now, like this can't be it.
And
Um,
the guy's a furry. He's a
yeah.
furry on top of it. Anyway, you said it. We don't want to talk about diets because it's douchey. Favorite food.
Favorite food. If there's no um
That's it, man. Last
if
meal. They're
there's
taking
if
you to
there's no
the electric
remorse,
chair.
dude, I'm having so many chicken tenders. Like just keep the chicken tenders coming. Oh my gosh. And I'm eating so much chocolate. Like it's going to
Okay.
be like Reese's Sundays nonstop,
Okay.
because I'm not
Okay.
gonna wake up the next morning feeling
That's
bloated
it.
or
That's it.
anything.
Yeah.
It's fine. Yeah.
All right. Favorite TV show.
Oh man, that's a tough one. Favorite TV show of all time?
You can do a couple. I like you, Michael.
Okay, I might say Friday Night Lights. Um
Friday Night Lights. Okay.
Friday Night Lights might be my favorite
I
show of
love
all
football. I
time.
love football. I'm a football guy.
So, um I I'm also, and this is gonna also another
Oh,
douchey thing about
I was
me.
gonna say I
I'm
knew Douchey was coming.
Yeah,
I knew it. The way
there
you
is okay. And not even douchey. It's kind of, no, actually, it's not douchey. It's kind of white girly of me. Okay. Um, I am, if there is a TV show that is set in the late 90s, early 2000s, and it is about late 90s, early 2000s, teenage years going into college years, I will watch that all day, every day. Because I don't know what it's like. I'm watching the shows because they're my age, going through the same time that I was that age, and something about it. Give me Veronica Mars. Give me One Tree Hill. Give me Dawson's Creek. Give me all of these
oh,
shows
good Lord.
that
Good
took
Lord.
place. And what's funny about it, Scott, is a lot of those shows, I did not watch them when I was growing up because I was like, this is lame. I'm not watching this. You know what I mean? I'm too tough for this. I'm going to be in the carnivore diet one day. But
It's
I discovered them
it's
at like One Tree Hill. I literally watched at 28 years old with my wife.
I'm trying to say it's not douchey, but I'm doing my best.
It's kind of like, it's girly is what it is.
All
And
right.
and what I always tell people this is that my white side is my female side. So sometimes I do white girl stuff,
All
you
right.
know?
Let's try and make it not douchey and you get a chance to redeem yourself. Favorite movie.
Favorite movie of all time
And
is
again,
Crash.
you can do a couple.
Crash,
Okay?
um The Little Giants,
Okay?
um Rudy used to be up there for me
I
as
mean,
well
you are a football guy. You are a sports guy.
because I used to like to have a good, dude cry back in the
Okay.
day. But then it came out that how much of a jerk Rudy was, and I was like, this kind of ruined it for me. Like this isn't true at all. He was just some tryhard that nobody liked. What's inspiring about that?
Oh man, this has been some fun. Um, I want to make sure. What do you got coming up? You obviously promoting the new Blended Feathers special, and I know you're touring. I'll put all your links to everything: your Instagram, your
Oh,
Facebook,
appreciate that.
YouTube,
Yeah.
everything. Your special over on your buddy's page. Everything I can do to help you, I will.
The special, I please go watch it. I am this is the most proud I've ever been of anything that I've ever done creatively. Um, it was months and months and months of hard work. I Like Your Jesus came out in December or early January of 2025. It was like there was actually what's funny about I Like Your Jesus is there was two release dates. It came out in December, and then for some reason they ripped it down because there was like a better audio version of it, and then it was
Right.
re-released. So it came out late December of 2024, early January of 2025, and right before it came out, I started working on Blended Feathers on the road. So it
Okay.
was just 14, 15 months of traveling to get that hour ready the way I wanted it to be, up into the point to where like the Thursday before the filming, I was still adjusting the jokes, right? And it's the hardest I've ever worked on something. I spent hours and hours in cars driving to different venues to make sure that it worked in all different types of climates. That Travis Wright, and I'm a fan of, did an unreal job producing it. It looks like a freaking Netflix special. And please go watch it. I think that
Well,
he worked
that's
way too hard on it. They did too much work on it for it not to be seen by.
Michael. Michael, let's hope it gets Hulu, Netflix, Amazon. Somebody picks it up.
Yeah, it's great. I think you should
I
watch it.
think who knows.
I say this often, and I've said this on about 4 podcasts now. Um, Not what I did. I think what I did was pretty good, but I think
But
what
all the
they did
production, yeah,
production wise, I think it's the best produced sound, lighting, filmed, independent special to come out of my comedy scene.
I
So
believe you. Well, we don't have a lot of time left, and the initial plan was you were just going to do a few minutes. So I'm going to say it, and you can do a few minutes. All right.
let's do it. You want to do some comedy?
It's up to you, buddy.
All
Your
right.
comedy minute, Michael Pasvar. Go ahead, my friend.
We go to my in-laws house a lot. Recently we were over at my in-laws house a few months back, and my in-laws, they have a German Shepherd and a poodle. Okay. And I was looking at the one day we were all hanging out, the German, the Shepherd, the poodle were there, and I was looking at the German Shepherd and the poodle, and I was like, isn't that weird how that's the same species? Like they could mix together, they could have a dog, and it'd be the exact same species. They're so completely different, right? My father-in-law stops what he's doing. He looks at me, looks at the dogs, looks at my wife, looks back at the dogs, looks at me one last time and goes, "That is why I like birds. They do not mix. They keep to their own. They do not blend their feathers." You guys know how uncomfortable it was for me to have my Hispanic father-in-law tell his non-Hispanic son-in-law that the reason why he likes birds is because they don't blend their feathers? At first I was offended, but then I was like, dang, that's some beautiful racism. Oh my God. They don't blend their feathers? That's poetic. Basically, what I'm saying to you guys is if that the KKK would have hired Edgar Allan Poe to write their chants, I think people might still be saying them today. I don't know. Here's the deal. We recently moved into a super affluent, super white neighborhood. Okay.
Yeah.
And in this neighborhood, there's this little football field in the middle of the neighborhood. And to tell you a little bit about it, there's this like 5-year-old football team that practice there 6 days a week. Okay. They're there 6 days a
Yeah.
week, no matter what the weather is. And a few months back, it was 37 degrees outside and raining, and those 5-year-olds were out there practicing. And I'm Facebook friends with the coach. And one day he posted about that practice. He was like, "Our boys are built different. They got that dog in them. Our boys are built different. They got that dog in them." I'm like, really? I'm pretty sure little Braxton was dropped off in a $97,000 Tesla eating organic snacks. I don't think he's built different. It's like, has he played black people yet? Has that happened?
Jesus.
Like, you take Braxton down to the hood for one weekend of tournaments, he immediately shows up on Monday and signs up for lacrosse. Like, the only dog that Braxton has in him is a Labradoodle.
Oh God.
You know, what's funny is like, so now I'm, a dad. So I have to do all these different things. Like,
Right.
last week I did dad's club at my kids' school, my kids' middle school. And if you think about like dad's club, again, what comes to your mind is like, oh, maybe we're gonna go and like build something, or we're gonna go and like mentor the kids, or we're going, do career day, talk about, what they want us to do at dad's club? They're like, no, just show up and give the kids a high five. I was like, oh no, you don't want me to like do anything? Ah, try a fist bump. Say hello. It's Friday. Like, that's how little society thinks of dads. It's like, hey guys, we need you guys to volunteer. I know not all of you guys have enough time. Can you come give out fist bumps and attaboys? Have you seen what the moms have to do at the school? They're blowing up balloons. They're redecorating the hallways. They've got to find like signed jerseys for silent auction nights. For Dad's Club, it's literally, hey, you're doing good, guy. Welcome aboard.
It seems kind of douchey.
Yeah.
Michael, thank you.
Absolutely. It was a ton
I
of
know you
fun.
got to get running. I'm looking at the clock. We get a hard pass at a couple of minutes from now. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to do everything I can to help out the blended feathers special, and you come
Thank you.
back and see me anytime. All right?
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on.
Yep. Let me stop the recording to spend a minute or two off the air.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You were wonderful.